Hello from the pastor's office. I wanted to send you this video with an update on our matching gift campaign, to answer some questions about the parsonage and also talk about the meeting we're planning for April 27th. First is to say thank you. We did it, everybody. We did it. I told you I had a friend of mine who offered $75,000 if you could match it by April 20th. Not only did you match it, but we are close to $100,000 because of your generosity. In fact, there's one gift that I know is still coming that when it comes, it may even push us over. And so not only have you met the challenge, but you've surpassed the challenge, and I want to thank you for your generosity. I called my friend and let him know he's going to drop off the check on Friday, which happens to be my birthday. He's going to drop the check off on Friday, and he's so grateful that this is something he can share in too, and his family can support our work here at LCR. Now you may be asking yourself, why are we having a congregational meeting at the end of April? Are they ready to buy a house? And the answer is no, we're not ready to buy a house. But this is the next step we need to take to prepare ourselves for this work. Now, you may not have heard yet, but our lender is going to be the Mission Investment Fund through the ELCA, meaning we're going to use the funding mechanism the National Church has if churches need to build new buildings, build onto buildings, or take on some special project. One of the reasons we're doing this is they're used to working with churches, and sometimes getting a large loan from a bank is not possible for a nonprofit because they're not sure how they're going to secure their debt. This group is interested with working with churches so that we can be successful, and were we to run into any trouble, which I'm not anticipating, but were we to run into any trouble, they would work closely with us because they want to see us be successful. It's not merely just a commercial venture. For them, it's also an act of faith to see the church growing, and this is part of the church growing. So April 27th isn't a meeting to buy a house. April 27th is the next step in the process of getting our application for the lending product ready. This is not a traditional mortgage. This is the lending project or the lending product that they give to churches who are either building or acquiring or renovating. So we're getting the same product that all the other Lutheran churches get who are engaged in this similar work. Now, they need to see a budget saying that the church is on board with this. The congregational meeting lets them know this isn't just the pastor and a few crazy people. Then they wanted to see if we would host a capital campaign. Well, check that box. We've already done it. So we can adopt a budget that shows them this is how we're going to pay for it. We can show them the money that we've acquired, and that means we will be well positioned to take on a loan when we do find the right house. So there will be another meeting in the future where we will say this is what we're looking at, the property we're looking at, but right now we're just going to be presenting the sketch and the numbers so that you can understand how we plan to use the money that we've raised. Now, one of the commitments that I've made is this project is not going to saddle our church budget with debt, meaning all of a sudden you're going, wow, we're really in the red, Pastor. What happened? Well, why did you add all that debt? What we want to do is use the money we've raised in part to draw or have a draw period where we can pay the debt, service the debt, and be able to see how well is the asset performing before it ever becomes a budgetary liability. At some point in the future, we hope that the stewardship of this congregation will be such that we can raise the money to service the debt. But for a period of time, over a year, maybe even 2 years, we're going to use the money that you've now raised, use the matching gift, use everything that we've collected up to this point. In the bank, we're going to have $250,000, almost $300,000 after our estate gift from Bob Oxiger comes in. And that will be the purpose to make sure that we don't blow up the church's budget, but that we can see the asset perform in real time and be comfortable with it as part of the church's portfolio. Now, the committee that is meeting on this topic also sees a few other uses for the money that we've raised if necessary. It could be buying down the price of the house, meaning essentially a down payment, even though it's not really a mortgage product that we're using. It could also be if we need to renovate the property. We could do an investment to be able to renovate it before anyone moves in, so we wouldn't have to try and do that while people live there. But again, the intent of raising so much was to give us flexibility to do any and maybe all of those three things. Especially, though, not to saddle the church with a debt that would break and blow up the budget. We are trying to approach this in a very fiscally conservative manner to make sure the money is in the bank so that when the opportunity presents itself, and I think God will bless us with something beautiful, we'll be ready to go. So just to clarify once again, April 27th is not a meeting to purchase a house. It is not a meeting where we will be making a huge commitment. We will be presenting a budget that, if approved, and I'm hoping you'll approve it, will then go to our lender and show that we are acting in good faith and we are ready for the next step in securing our funding. Now you might say, so when do we get to see some of those numbers in that budget? Well, we're having a special meeting Thursday evening, and it's not even really a meeting, more kind of a meet and greet, a Q&A period, Thursday evening at 6 o'clock. I will be at the church, and if you want to come and see the numbers or have a conversation about them, I'll be more than happy to do that with the group that gathers. If you don't come to that, on Friday of next week, we will email out those same numbers and maybe another video, so that before the Sunday meeting, you'll see exactly what we're talking about. This isn't something we're going to drop on you Sunday morning. You will have some lead time on it, so you can see what this committee is thinking, and you can see what levers they're looking at in terms of the actual draw period, how much they might want to buy it down, or how much might be available for renovation. Those are questions that we will be addressing in more specific detail at a committee meeting that we have next week. So the purpose of this video was just to say thank you. We did it. Not only did we do it, we did more than was expected. We're going to be close to $300,000 when all our assets are in play. That's a wonderful gift of freedom that you've given us as we go about this project. April 27th is not to buy a house. It is merely to complete the next step so we can forward to the lender our plan and see if they approve to make available funding so that when the time is right, when God gives us the right house, we'll be ready to act. So that means there's going to be another congregational meeting coming up, and that would be the meeting where hopefully God shows us this is what I want you to have. But until then, I hope you'll come on Thursday if you're interested. I hope you'll come next Sunday to the meeting on the 27th, and that you can see all the good that's going to come from your generosity and your donations. Now this Thursday, this Friday, and this Sunday are part of our Holy Week, and so we'll set aside this business now so that we can be attentive to the Last Supper, the washing of the feet, to the cross of Jesus, and finally to his resurrection. This is the whole purpose of why we want to call leaders here, so that we can proclaim the good news of what God has done for us. Thank you for being the family of God here in Huntington Beach. Thank you for your generosity, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the days and weeks ahead.